Do you have anybody, relatives, or someone who can help? She asks after a while. No, I say. My father's parents died a long time ago, and he doesn't have any brothers, sisters, uncles, or aunts. Not one. Not that I can prove this, but I do know he never had anything to do with my relatives. And I never heard anything about relatives on my mother's side. I mean, I don't even know my mother's name. So how was I supposed to know about her relatives? Your father sounds like an alien from outer space or something, Shakura says. Like he came from some far off planet, took on human form, kidnapped on Earth human, and then had you, just so he could have more descendants. Your mother found out, got frightened, and ran away, like in some film or science fiction flick. I have no idea what to say. Joking aside, she says and smiles broadly to show that she means it. My point is, in this whole wide world, the only person you can depend on is you. I guess so. She stands there learning. She stands there leaning against the sink, drinking her coffee. I have to get some sleep, she says, as if I suddenly remembering. It's past 3. I have to get up at 7:30, so I won't get much, but a little's better than none. I hate going to work on no sleep at all. So what are you going to do? I have my sleeping bag with me, I tell her, so if it's no bother, I'll just crash out in a corner. I take my tightly rolled up sleeping bag out of my backpack, spread it out, and fluff it up. She watches, impressed. A regular Boy Scout, she says. After she turns out the light and gets into bed, I climb into my sleeping bag, shut my eyes, and try to go to sleep. But I can't stop picturing that blood-stained white t-shirt. I still feel that burning sensation in my palm. I open my eyes and stare at the ceiling. A floor creaks somewhere. Somebody turns on a tap, and again I hear an ambulance in the night. Far off, but echoing sharply in the darkness. Can't fall asleep, she whispers in the dark. No, I say. Me neither. Shouldn't have had that coffee. That was dumb. She switches on her bedside light, checks the time, then turns the light off. Don't get me wrong, she says, but if you had liked to come over here, you can. I can't sleep either. I slip out of my sleeping bag and climb into bed with her. I'm wearing boxers and a t-shirt. She has on a pair of light pink pajamas. I have a steady boyfriend in Tokyo, she tells me. He's not much to brag about, but he's my guy, so I don't have sex with anybody else. I might not look like it, but when it comes to sex, I'm pretty straight-laced. Call me old-fashioned. I wasn't always that way. I used to be pretty wild, but I don't fool around anymore. So don't get any ideas, okay? Just think of us as brother and sister. Understand? Gotcha, I tell her. She puts her arms around me, hugs me close, and rests her cheek on my forehead. You poor thing, she says. I don't need to tell you that I get a hard on right way, big time, and it couldn't help rubbing up against her thigh. My oh my, she says. Sorry, I tell her. I didn't mean to. It's okay, she says. I know what an inconvenience it is. Nothing you can do to stop it. I nod in the darkness. She hesitates for a moment, then lowers my boxers, pulls out my rock hard cock, and cradles it gently in her hand, as if she was making sure of something, the way a doctor takes a pulse. With her soft hand touching me, I feel something. A stray thought spring up in my crotch. How old would your sister be now? 21, I say. 6 years older than me. She thinks about this for a while. Do you want to see her? Maybe, I say. Maybe? Her hand grasps my cock a little hard. What do you mean, maybe? You really don't want to see her that much? I don't know what we talk about, and she might not want to see me. Same thing with my mother. Maybe neither one of them wants to have anything to do with me. No one's searching for me. I mean, they left and everything. Without me, I complete the thought. She doesn't say anything. Her hand on my cock loosens a bit, then tightens. In time with this, my cock relaxes, then gets even harder. You want to come? She asks. Maybe, I say. Again with the maybes. Very much, I correct myself. She sighs lightly and slowly begins to move her hand. It feels out of this world. Not just an up and down motion, but more often all over massage. Her fingers gently stroke my cock and my balls. I close my eyes and let out a big sigh. You can touch me, and when you're about to come, let me know so you don't mess up the sheets. Okay, I say. How is it? I'm pretty good, huh? Fantastic. As I was telling you, I'm very nimble fingered, but this isn't sex, okay? I'm just helping you relax, is what it is. You've had a rough day, you're all tense and not going to sleep well unless we do something about it. Got it? Yeah, I get it, I say, but I do have one request. What's that? Is it okay if I imagine you naked? Her hand stops and she looks me in the eye. You want to imagine me naked while we're doing this? Yeah, I've been trying to keep from imagining that, but I can't. Really? It's like a TV you can turn off. She laughs. I don't get it. You didn't have to tell me that. Why don't you just go ahead and imagine what you want? You don't need my permission. How can I know what's in your head? I can't help it. Imagining something's very important, so I thought I'd better tell you. It has nothing to do with whether you know or not. You're some kind of polite boy, aren't you? She says, impressed. I guess it's nice, though, that you wanted to let me know. All right, permission granted. Go ahead and picture me nude. Thanks, I say. How is it? Is my body nice? It's amazing, I reply. This languid sensation spreads over my lower half like a liquid floating to the surface. When I tell her, she grabs some tissues from the bedside and I come over and over like crazy. A little while later, she goes to the kitchen, tosses with the tissues, and rinses her hand. Sorry, I say. It's all right, she says, snuggling back into bed. No need to apologize. It's just a part of your body. So, do you feel better? Definitely. I'm glad. She thinks for a while, then says, I was thinking how nice it had be if I was a real sister. Me too, I say. She lightly touches my hair. I'm going to sleep now. So why don't you go back to your sleeping bag? I can't sleep well unless I'm alone, and I don't want your hard on poking me all night, okay? I go back to my sleeping bag and close my eyes. This time I can sleep. Deep, deep sleep. Maybe the deepest since I ran away from home. It's as if I'm in some huge lift that slowly, silently carries me deeper and deeper underground. Finally, all light has disappeared, all sound faded away. When I wake up, Shakra's left for work. It's 9 a.m. My soldier hardly exits out anymore. Just as she sat on the kitchen table, I find a morning paper, a note, and a key. Her note says, I watched the TV news at 7 and looked all through the paper, but there weren't any bloody incidents reported around here, so I don't think that blood was anything. Good news. Ah, there isn't much in the fridge, but help yourself and make use of whatever you need around the house. If you are planning to go anywhere, feel free to hang out here. Just put the key under the doormat if you go out. I take a carton of milk from the fridge, check the expiry date, and pour it over some cornflakes, pour some water, and make a cup of Darjeeling tea. Toast 2 slices of bread and eat them with low fat margarine. Then open the newspaper and scan the local news. As she said, no violent crimes in the headlines. I let out a sigh of relief, folded up the paper, and put it back where it was. At least I won't have to run all over the city trying to evade the police. But I decide it's better not to go back to the hotel, just to play it safe. I still don't know what happened during those last lost 4 hours. I call the hotel, a man answers, and I don't recognize his voice. I tell him something's came come up and I have to check out. I try my best to sound grown up. I paid in advance, so it shouldn't be a problem. There are some personal effects in the room, I tell him, but they can be discarded. He checks the computer and sees that the bill is up to date. Everything's on order, Mr. Tamura. He says, you're all checked out. The key is a plastic card, so there's no need to return it. I thank him and hang up. We take a shower. Shakura's underwear and tights are dying in the bathroom. Sorry, Shakura's underwear and tights are drying in the bathroom. I try not to look at them and concentrate on my usual job of thoroughly describing myself, and I try my best not to think about last night. I brush my teeth and put on a clean pair of pants, roll up my sleeping bag, stuff it into my backpack, and wash my dirty clothes in the washing machine. There's no dryer, so after they go through the ringer, I fold them up and put them in a plastic bag and into my bag. I can always dry them at a laundrette later on. I wash all the dishes piled up in the sink, let them drain, dry them, and put them back on the shelf. Then I straighten up the contents of the fridge and toss out whatever has gone bad. Some of the food stinks, moldy broccoli, an ancient rubbery cucumber, a packet of tofu well past its expiry date. I take whatever is still edible, transfer it into new containers, and wipe up some spilled sauce. I threw out all the cigarette butts, make a neat stack of the scattered old newspapers, and run a hoover around the place. Shakura might be good at giving a massage, but when it comes to keeping house, she is a disaster. I iron the shirts she has crammed in the chest of drawers and think about going shopping and making dinner. At home, I try to take care of household chores myself, so none of this is any trouble. But making dinner, I decide, might be going too far. Finished with all that, I sit at the kitchen table and look around the apartment. I know I can stay here forever. I had have a semi-permanent hard on with semi-permanent fantasies. Can't avoid looking at those tiny black panties hanging in the bathroom. Can't keep asking her permission to let my imagination roam. But most of all, I can forget what she did for me last night. I leave a note for Shakura using the blunt pencil and memo pad beside the phone. Thanks. You really saved me. I'm sorry I woke you up so late last night, but you were the only one I could count on. I stop for a moment to think what I should write next and do a 360 of the room as I'm thinking. Thanks for letting me stay over. I'm grateful you said I could stay here as long as I liked. It would be nice if I could, but I don't think I should bother you anymore. There were all sorts of reasons I won't go into. I've got to make it on my own. I hope you'll still think kindly of me the next time I'm in a jam. Stop again. Someone in the neighborhood had got their TV on at full volume. One of these morning talk shows for housewives. The people on the show all yelling at each other and commercials just as loud and obnoxious. I sit at the table spinning the blunt pencil in my hand, pulling my thoughts together to tell you the truth, though I don't think I deserve your kindness. I'm trying my best to be a much better person, but things aren't going so well. The next time we meet, I hope I'll have my act together. Whether that will happen or not, I don't know. Thanks for last night. It was wonderful. I slip the note under a couch, shoulder my backpack, and head out of the apartment, leaving the key under the doormat as she told me. A black and white spotted cat is lying in the middle of the stairs, taking a nap. It must be used to people because it doesn't make a move to get up as I go down the stairs. I sit down beside it and stroke his large body for a while. The feel of his fur brings back memories. The cat narrows his eyes and starts to purr. We sit there on the stairs for a long time, each enjoying his own version of this intimate feeling. Eventually, I tell him goodbye and walk down the road. A fine rains began to fall. Having checked out of the hotel and left Sakura's, I have no idea where I will spend the night. Before the sun sets, I've got to find a roof to sleep under. Somewhere safe. I don't know where to begin, but I decide to take the train out to the Komura library. Once I get there, something will work out. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling it will. Fate seems to be taking me in some even stranger directions.